The maple resin is one of the new best seeds in Grow a Garden, up there with the bone blossom and also the candy blossom. However, this one is a transcendent seed, which means the base value of this thing is even more. So this is one of the new best seeds that you can get inside of Roblox Grow a Garden, and I decided to grow every single mutation on this thing. Make sure to watch until the end of this video to see the value of the maple resin with every mutation on it. So we're gonna go ahead and plant our maple resin seed right here next to our pancake stack, and then with that we're gonna go ahead and spawn in about let's do 6 sugar apples there. Okay, and then real quick we're gonna spawn in my apple gazelle, and then I'm gonna have my main account come over here and hit that grow all button for us. All right, perfect. So here is the maple resin, and it actually looks really awesome. However, we're not going to use this one that grew in here. We're actually going to grow in a bigger one in just a second, but let's go ahead and use our apple gazelle to get the warp mutation. So I'm going to pick up these. Oh, there we go. That was only 2 of them and we're done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and travel this over here, so we have the warp mutation ready now, and then we're going to go ahead and reclaim these sugar apples just so they're out of the way, so there's less work for our spinos later. There we go. And we're going to go ahead real quick now and place an advanced sprinkler down right in this corner, and we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our 3 mandrakes here, and they all are boosted, so that's good. We're gonna go ahead and get our mandrake seeds. I already have them right here, and some watering cans. Then we're gonna go ahead and place a couple of these down at a time. We need to get that rot mutation done though, so hopefully we get it in this set of 6. If we don't, we're gonna have to get some more real quick. All right, we got rot applied to a mandrake, which is actually this one, so perfect timing. I'm gonna go ahead and travel this rotted mandrake over here to our collection, and we are good to go to start getting the other mutations done now. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and pick up these mandrakes and the apple gazelle now, and we are good with that. And then we're gonna go ahead and pick up this. Oh, there's actually more maple resin that grows in. I thought there was only the one. Okay. But we are going to pick up all these. We're going to go ahead and get our sprinklers down here. So let's go ahead and put down a, here's my Grandmaster. We're going to put down a Grandmaster sprinkler here. We'll do our Master sprinkler, the Godly. We need to get an advanced in there and a basic. And then there's also a maple sprinkler that we can get over here in the shop. That is for fall plants. I'm gonna go ahead and run over here and grab that real quick because I forgot about that. Okay, I gotta add some more Robux. Hold on. Plant, don't grow too fast. Hold on. All right, we should be good. Grab this. We gotta run back quick. Is that the right thing? Yeah, that's the right thing. All right, go. Run. All right, we got it. We're good. I'm gonna throw that in the stack. Should have had that done earlier. I'm sorry about that. But we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our mooncats now, and we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a triceratops to see how much growth this gives us. So we should be good. Now we should be able to get a pretty big maple resin to grow in and make some good money once we get all the mutations on it. I realized I forgot to get the Dawnbound mutation again on a plant. Now there is the new sugar glider pet that can copy mutation, and it's not like the spinos or remove it or steal it. I'll just copy it. So I'll have to do that from now on to move the Dawnbound mutation over. So we'll plan to get that in just a bit. But anyways, let's see where our mooncats sleep. Okay, we have a couple of them getting close to our maple resin here. Hopefully a couple of them stack up in a spot. All right, well, this is a pretty good stack over here though. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there real quick. Let's let this consume all the mooncat boosts real quick. All right, that should be good. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw this back over here on our sprinklers. If it'll let me move it. There we go. Okay, that's a pretty big one there. That one looks pretty nice. Okay, we might have a winner. We'll keep trying though. We'll see what else we can get, and we'll have our triceratops hit it a couple times as well to see what we get. And perfectly, all our mooncats are sleeping right next to this. Not all of them, but you know, a good chunk of them. I'll go ahead and give our triceratops a toy as well, just to hopefully get a double hit on the maple resin to help a little bit. All right, triceratops is gonna smack it. Didn't really do much for us. All right, well, I feel like this might be a pretty big maple resin. I don't know. I think you could probably get bigger than this, but I guess we'll keep it since that one is pretty big there. And I think the value will be pretty good no matter what. So let's go ahead and favorite our maple resin then. And let's go ahead and pick up all of our pets we have currently placed down. Let's get a queen bee going here. Let's get our butterfly going. And then we're going to apply some mutations on this so we can turn it into rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the chocolate mutation, pollinated, windstruck, and then I will do a couple on my main account. Hold on, let me grab some sprays over there. All right, so on my main account, I'm gonna go ahead and add a chilled spray since we don't really need those, and a windstruck. Oh wait, I already did windstruck. What am I doing? I'll add a cloud touch. There we go. That's better. All right, so now our maple resin does have 5 mutations that can be converted to rainbow, so we'll unfavorite that, and we'll let our queen bee cool down our butterfly, convert these to rainbow, and then we'll be good to go. There's also a small one right there I'm gonna pick up. There we go. And all right, our maple resin is ready to go to become rainbow, so we'll do that once these cooldowns are completed. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a golden goose so we can get this guy's egg ready to go. And then on my main account, I'm actually going to go ahead and spawn in my kitsune and a queen bee over here as well. So that way the queen bee will cool down the kitsune, and then this guy will apply the chakra mutation to our maple resin, or at least one of our sugar apples, so we can get this thing to be chakra or foxfire chakra. And then also, to save some time later, I'm going to also spawn in a raiju here. I'm going to place down a carrot seed, and then on my main account, I will apply the shock spray to the carrot. There we go. All right, so now we have the shocked mutation on our carrot, and then our raiju will in a little bit eat this carrot with the shocked on it and convert it to static and apply that to our maple resin or our sugar apples. And I know a lot of people are like, Bandites, shocked is better than static. Why do you get it? Well, you can literally have both mutations, and when you get both mutations, then you can get Maelstrom, Storm Charged. Actually, you don't get Maelstrom from that, but you do get Storm Charged, and Storm Charged is a really good multiplier, so you kind of need like both of them. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, so our raiju will eat that, add some static, and we should be good. And then yeah, that should be good. If it adds it to our maple resin, that's not a big deal. I actually will probably go ahead and just add some carrot seeds right here, just so it will hit one of these carrots. That way, in case it does just go directly on the maple resin, it's fine if it goes to rainbow, because we'll have it on a carrot over here, and that way the raiju will be done and out of the way. All right, we're gonna wait for this to go to rainbow, and then we'll be back and continue getting mutations. All right, our raiju is gonna eat that shocked carrot there and then apply it. And there we go. We have a couple of static carrots, which is perfect. And we also got one of our mandrakes over here static and some sugar apples. So we are good to go. I'm going to actually go ahead and pick up these carrots then, since we don't need these ones, since we have it on those fruits over there. And our raiju is done with its job, so we can go ahead and pick up the raiju. And then our golden goose will lay us a golden fortune egg in just a second. And then we'll use Spinos to move the fortune mutation over to our apple resin when we're ready to go with that. All right, so our queen bee is cooling down our butterfly, and our butterfly is applying rainbow to our maple resin. I think I accidentally said apple resin a second ago. Sorry about that if I did that. I don't know, bro. My brain breaks or something. But anyways, our maple resin is now rainbow, so we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly, favorite the maple resin, and let's go ahead and add some sprays to this thing. So we're going to put pollinated back onto it. We're going to put, actually, we won't do windstruck. We also won't do glimmering because we have a couple of glimmering sugar apples still that we're going to save. So we're going to do pollinated. We're going to do chocolate. We're going to put down a honey sprinkler for honey glazed. And then on my main account over here, I'm going to go ahead and apply some extra sprays as well. So we have the shock spray we're going to reapply. We're going to apply the luminous spray, the cloud touch spray, and verdant. And there we go. We now are up to 8 mutations on this thing, and we're about to get plenty more. We also have my main account's kitsune that will hopefully apply foxfire chakra or chakra in just a second. All right, so here comes the kitsune, and I just boosted the kitsune as well, so we might be able to get foxfire chakra instead of regular chakra. Let's see. Here he comes. He's coming in. All right, we just got regular chakra, but we'll take that for now. We can probably get foxfire later when we AFK. And it is time to get started with some of our pets. Let's go ahead and go through all the guaranteed mutation pets first. We're going to go ahead and throw a peach wasp in here. Let's do our cockatrice. We'll throw in our phoenix. This guy will give us plasma. This guy will give us toxic. That guy will give us the flaming mutation, which can be converted to blazing and infernal. We'll go ahead and spawn in our lemon lion to get the brain rot mutation. And then we'll spawn in our pterodactyl for the tempestuous mutation, and our corrupt kitsune for the corrupt chakra or corrupt foxfire chakra mutations. And I think that's all of our guaranteed pets that we need to do. We already did the raiju, so we're good with him. And perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure there's no other guaranteed pets. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and spawn in some jackalopes here so we can get the sandy mutation done and out of the way and applied to something. And these guys are already boosted, so that's good. I'm also going to spawn in again some more carrot seeds just so our pterodactyl and corrupt kitsune have an easier time applying this mutation. The more carrots we have, honestly, doesn't hurt now that the fairy event's over, because we don't get the glimmering mutation spammed. So it'll just give us more opportunities for our pets to reach different fruits and apply mutations that we need. And I'm also going to restock on some carrots just so I have a good supply. All right, so I think this is a good setup here. We do have a bunch of new pets as well. So we actually do have the new swan pet here, which I don't think he's guaranteed, but he will give us the... I forgot the mutation name, honestly. I can't lie, I just forgot it. I just had a brain fart. Let me pick up a jackalope real quick so I can check out these pets. So the swan will give us the graceful mutation. There we go. So I think this is a guaranteed mutation, actually, because every 5 minutes graces a fruit with graceful. So we'll actually keep him spawned in. And then we also have the grizzly bear, which I believe gives us the fall mutation. We have the badger, which can give us the cracked mutation from the earthquake event. And then we also have the space squirrel that can apply the void touch mutation, which is pretty cool that we can actually get void touch now without a black hole event. So we'll use him in just a little bit as well. But this is a good setup for now. We'll wait for our jackalope to give us the sandy mutation. Then we'll check through some of our other pets and get all these guaranteed pets done and out of the way. And then we can set up for a nice little AFK setup. All right, so our lemon lion is now applying brain rot, and it's applied to one of our sugar apples, which is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up, and I'm gonna spawn in another jackalope again just to help us get the sandy mutation done. And then I think we'll do like our grizzly bears and then like our space squirrel. We'll get these guys out of the way with the disco bees and the chicken zombies so we can get all those done, and then we'll set up for an AFK grind to get those longer mutations that take a while. So we'll go ahead and do that. Our swan's about to apply the graceful mutation, and actually I didn't realize the swan is like the mimic octopus, where every like 20 minutes it tries to apply a mutation from another pet. So that'll be really useful later for when we use the Spino, so we pretty much have an extra Spinosaurus. I'll be happy with that, so that's really nice. I'm gonna boost this jackalope just to try and help us give a better chance for Sandy to get done out of the way. Okay, that still is failing, but it'll be done eventually, okay?
You sure about that?
Our cockatrice will also give us toxic in just a second, and then we're about to get our swan done and out of the way. So let's see. Our swan's going to apply graceful to something. Okay, we got graceful on the maple resin. I don't know if it was this direct one. I think it's this one that's glowing right there, so we'll get that moved over later. But our swan's job is done for now. We can use it later as a mimic octopus, but for now we are good. So let's go ahead and pick up our swan, and let's see, is that going to apply Sandy? All right, perfect. We got Sandy added to a carrot, so our jackalopes are done as well. We can go ahead and move this Sandy carrot over to our little collection for our Spinos. You know, we can't really have silver, but I'll just throw it in there. Just why not? You know, what if the game bugs and gives us silver with rainbow or something? That'd be so cool. That'd be so awesome, dude. That'd be so awesome and cool. You would too. All right, anyways, our cockatrice is going to give us the toxic mutation now, and our pterodactyl will hopefully give us tempestuous in the next minute here. So we'll let those play out. But let me see. I think the space squirrel might be a guaranteed void touch mutation. Let me just double check. Okay, no, it only has a 15% chance. So this guy we might want to wait for our AFK grind and swap him in with one of our pets later. What about our badger here? I do have a giant badger. So every 2 minutes, he has a chance to apply the crack mutation. So I guess we'll try and do that. Okay, perfect. So we have toxic added to a couple of our carrots. Here's one of them. I'll go ahead and move this guy over. And I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in another badger. Since these guys have pretty short cooldowns, we'll use these guys to attempt to get the cracked mutation. I'm also going to boost them to give them a little bit of a better... I did not mean to boost that. Oh, no, I did boost the badger. I thought I boosted the Krupkadzun. But there we go. That'll give them a little bit of a faster mutation and hopefully a good enough boost to give us a better cracked mutation chance. All right, so work on trying to get cracked. Our pterodactyl is going to apply tempestuous. Hopefully, let's see. Okay, we did not get tempestuous, so we have to actually wait another 8 minutes for the pterodactyl. Bro, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? We're supposed to swap you out for another pet, but you know what? That's fine. All right, so I guess since that failed, I'm going to go ahead and use our grizzly bears next then to give us the fall mutation, since that's a new one, and we got to get that done and out of the way. And these guys have another pretty short cooldown of about only 4 minutes, and they have a 10% chance. They also make you a little bit of a bigger player model. That's interesting. So I guess I'm a little bit of a bigger boy now. Oh, did you apply? Oh, they actually applied it really quickly. I thought it was gonna be much smaller of a chance there, but we got cracked on a lot of carrots. Okay, I guess it's like a 10% chance for each carrot, so that's actually crazy, and it lasts a very long time. So, and it might be because this one's giant, that helps as well. All right, well, we do have the cracked mutation now, which is perfect. The first time I think I've actually gotten the cracked mutation, so we're good with that. I'm gonna go ahead and travel this cracked carrot over here. Thank you, badgers, for your help, and let's go ahead and get the disco bees ready then. But yeah, that was pretty quick and easy. So if the grizzly bears are like that as well, we should be able to get the fall mutation done. Let's actually see real quick. Fall mutation. Oh, okay. Well, that was actually quick as well. I thought his mutation chance would be a lot less, but we did get the fall mutation done and out of the way real quick with the grizzly bears, so that's perfect. We can go ahead and spawn in 2 more disco bees then to get disco done, and then we'll work on the chicken zombies after that and get ready for our AFK setup. So perfect. These guys actually went pretty quick for us today, which helps me out a lot. So we're gonna have some great mutations today, dude. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a lot of them. All right, so our phoenix is applying the flaming mutation to a ton of our plants here. So we now have flaming on a bunch of stuff, including our golden egg. So that's interesting, but I'm going to go ahead and I guess I'll leave the golden egg since we got to get mutations off of it anyways. And I'm going to get some of these extra carrots out of the way that have other mutations on them as well. And we're good. All right. So thank you, Phoenix, for your service. And with that, we can go ahead and start spawning in some of our chicken zombies here to get the zombified mutation done and out of the way. And then we can add more once our other pets finish here. Our pterodactyl is next with our corrupt kitsune. So we should be able to get tempestuous and corrupt chakra. Maybe foxfire, corrupt chakra. That'd be nice. Wow. Okay, well, we got corrupt chakra done, but we're still not getting tempestuous done. Usually our pterodactyl is done by now. It's actually taking a while today, but we can go and pick up our corrupt kitsune then. And we got corrupt chakra on a lot of stuff, actually. I think some of these sugar apples got it. Yep. So we're good there. We can go ahead and I guess go ahead and just pick up these carrots that had it then. All right, well, our corrupt kitsune is out of the way, so we're gonna just wait for the pterodactyl to finish then, since he's having a hard time. We're gonna go ahead and boost our peach wasp as well to get that plasma mutation done. That'll also give a boost to one of our other pets. And then we're gonna go ahead and actually boost our disco beast for hopefully a chance to get disco done and out of the way so we can get more chicken zombies in here. I will spawn in one more chicken zombie for now, and let's see if we get disco. Maybe disco, buddy, please. All right, failed. Expected. All right, so if we get disco done, we're gonna get plasma done now. He's flying to the heavens. Oh, he's so beautiful, dude, with this PNG animation. And we have plasma done on a sugar apple. Thank you so much, Peach Wasp, for your service. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another chicken zombie to replace him. Hopefully we can get zombified done, and hopefully we can get plasma done. Let's see if we get plasma done. Or not plasma, disco. We just got plasma done. Disco, buddy, come on, you got this. Okay, you don't got this. You're a failure. You're a failure in life, just like me. Just like me, buddy. I understand. All right, biscuit. See, failed. Okay, well, these guys just hurt me. They just hurt me. That's all they do. They just hurt me. All right, please give us tempestuous this time, buddy. All right, finally we got tempestuous added to a carrot. Which one did you help us on? Was it one of these ones? All right, perfect. We got tempestuous on the carrot that has toxic on it, so that works. We can go ahead and pick up our pterodactyl finally. We're gonna replace him with an extra chicken zombie, and then we're gonna work to try and get disco done, and then we'll focus on zombified so we can get ready for our AFK setup. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and boost some of my chicken zombies because they're almost done here, like Shano and UC. So let's see if we can get zombified done on something. Failed. All right, where's UC? I need you to be UC full.
What?
I'm so funny. I have no friends. I'm sorry. All right, they both failed, so he's not UC full. He's UC-less. And I'm gonna go ahead and boost my disco bees again, and well, maybe, just maybe this time they'll like me enough. Where's my last one? Here he is. All right, come on, disco. Bro, failed again, bro. Why do these disco bees hate me? Is it because of my dad jokes? Wait, where's Katie? I can boost Katie and maybe get zombified. Please zombified, please. Failed, bro. Why everyone's failing me? All right, well, maybe my disco bees here will have a chance. We got 3 of them. Let's just wait a minute here and see if any of them give us disco. If they give us disco, that'd be wonderful because all my chicken zombies just failed and all my disco bees are failing. So please, someone, please. Biscuit or GG, one of you guys, come on. All right, failed. All right, it's up to GG and Biscuit. If they fail again, bro, I'm actually gonna be so sad. Come on, guys, you could do this. You could do this. You could do this. Disco mutation. Failed. Come on, please. Let's go. We finally got disco. All right, disco is applied to a carrot, bro. I was losing hope there. I was gonna cry and then cry myself to sleep, but we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and gift myself some more toys here so we can boost our chicken zombies and hopefully get them done and out of the way. I'm just glad, though, that we finally got disco done. At least something. That's all we needed, was at least something, man. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another chicken zombie here and a mimic octopus just to help in case. And I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my Spriggan because this guy might be able to give us the blue mutation. He has a better chance than some of the other guys I have. And if we get bloom done, then we have more opportunity to use some of our other pets when we go AFK. All right, so a lot of my chicken zombies here are almost done with their cooldowns. I'm gonna go ahead and boost them and see if we can get the mutation done finally, the zombified mutations. Let's go ahead and boost them one at a time and see what we get. So where's Shano here? Hello? There you are. All right, let's see if we get zombified, please. Failed. All right, let's go down to UC. UC, come on. Clutch up for us, please. Failed. Okay. Okay. That's fine. I don't care. All right, Katie, come on, please. Katie, come on, Katie.
Nope.
Failed again, bro? All right, what about Bella and Mimi? Come on. All right, that one's almost done. Where's Bella? Bella, come here. Come on. One of you guys apply the zombified mutation, please. I'm gonna go ahead and use my mimic octopus as well here to maybe try and get it done. Let's see. Or one of my mutations done. Let's do it in mimics.
Bruh.
Okay, it failed again, bro. All right, I'm gonna boost my gnome. Can we at least get like gnome done, maybe? All right, we got gnome done on a carrot. That actually works out perfect for us because that will save us some time later when we do our AFK setup. So that works. We got gnomed on this carrot. I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here. All right, gnome, thank you. We're gonna go ahead and boost the Spriggan as well here. Let's see if we can get bloom done. Come on, buddy. Here's a bunch of carrots for you, dude. Hey, don't go too far. Okay, our other chicken zombie failed. Spriggan, don't go too far. Apply bloom to something here, please. Okay, we got bloom on 10 of these things, dude. That was actually really easy. Okay. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and move the bloomed carrot over here. And now bloom is done and out of the way. So you did good. You and the gnome did good. We got 2 of our AFK mutations done, but we're still working on these chicken zombies. So I guess we'll go ahead and bring in the kappas next, since we usually get bloodlet pretty quickly from these guys with the carrots spread out like this. So we'll do that. And then hopefully we can get zombified done. All right, so I just had my kappa go a little crazy and apply wet to a bunch of these carrots, but apparently one of them just got bloodlet, which is this one, which also has bloom on it, which is perfect for us, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here, and we can actually go ahead and get rid of this carrot with bloom, since this one has bloodlet and bloom, to save some time. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick up, well, I guess I'll move one of these frozen ones over here just in case, and that should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the rest of these carrots with these extra mutations on them, and we can go ahead and also pick up our kappa, since they're good to go and they are done. And we still just gotta wait for these chicken zombies. And then I guess I'll go ahead and place a couple more carrots just to help with the zombies, so they have a little bit more reach. And we have 2 more pet slots we can go ahead and use. I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in the new space squirrel to see if we can get the space squirrel's mutation done and out of the way. And I'll also go ahead and spawn in the griffin, since it does help with cooldowns. So if the zombies still take forever, we can get some cooldowns done while we wait. Now, the space squirrel only has a 15% chance for the void touch mutation, but I will boost it. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. And then the griffin, of course, has a 10% chance. So these aren't the best pets, but these are our AFK pets, and we're just kind of getting them done earlier, trying to save some more time in the long run. So we'll see what happens with these guys, but yeah, hopefully we can get the zombified mutation out of the way. All right, so we are still struggling to get the zombified mutation, but as soon as we get it, we can literally go AFK and wait for the rest of the mutations to get applied to what we need. So hopefully Mimi or Bella here comes in clutch and gives us the zombified mutation once and for all. Otherwise, hopefully we can maybe get the void touch mutation or cyclonic out of the way, and then our AFK grind will really be easy when we go AFK. We do have a nighttime event that just spawned in here, so this will make it easy to, there we go, get the moonlit mutation done. And then we'll also keep an eye out for the celestial event to maybe get celestial mutation. Look at that. We finally got the zombified mutation applied to a sugar apple. It did take some time, but we're finally there. And now we're ready to go on our AFK grind. So there we go. So we're finally done with our chicken zombies. We can go ahead and pick these guys up and prepare for our AFK grind now. We are good to go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a lobster so we can work on getting molten or meteoric while we're gone in AFK. We'll get the corrupt scarlet out for the corrupt mutation, the tranquil scarlet out for the tranquil mutation, and we'll get the junk bot out for the oil mutation. And then we also have one more slot here. I know we're missing a pet. Oh, the spaghetti sloth. Sorry. Big sneeze there. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my spaghetti sloth so we can get the aromatic mutation from Miss Shard. We can go ahead and get sauce, pasta, and meatball. And when we get all those 3 done, we'll get the spaghetti mutation. And now we should be good for our AFK grind. We do have a mimic octopus. I think we could probably swap him out for something else. Let me see. I can probably swap him for a queen bee for now to save some time on cooldowns. And then before we go AFK, I'm gonna go ahead and give a toy to my space squirrel and my griffin so we can see if we get cyclonic or void touch done, because that would help us a lot as well. All right, it looks like we did not get cyclonic, but that's fine. Let's just real quick see if we can get void touch done. And if we don't, that's fine. We're just gonna AFK, and then we'll come back and get our spinos in here to move stuff over when we're back. All right. Void touch failed, kind of figured, because it's a really low chance, but we'll go AFK and let these pets do their thing, and then we'll throw in some spinos as they finish their mutations, and then we'll probably have to go ahead and also throw in our ascended mooncat as they finish mutations so we can get dawnbound done again. All right, so checking after a quick AFK break here to see what progress we have gotten. It looks like we did get a molten carrot here, so I'm gonna go ahead and move that into our spino platter over here. And it also looks like we actually got a few aromatic carrots. There's one here, and then I believe there's one right here. Yep, and this one one also has molten on it, which is interesting. So I think I'm going to take this aromatic and molten one and put it there, and then get rid of this chilled and molten one just so there's less to worry about for our Spinos. But we did get cyclonic done, so I'm going to go ahead and move that over, and that is out of the way. So we can go ahead and pick up our griffin, which is nice. We did get a sauce one, so I can go ahead and move this to the platter over here. We did get a pasta one, which is nice. Oh, and it looks like we just got meteoric done on a sugar apple, so we're actually good with our lobster as well. Perfect timing. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the lobster then. So our sloth is actually done. We got aromatic, sauce, pasta, and meatball. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over here so we can go ahead and pick up our spaghetti sloth. He is done, which is perfect. Let's see. So our junk bot, I saw an oil carrot over here somewhere, right here. So our junk bot is also done. Oil is done. We can go ahead and pick up our junk bot. Okay, corrupt just failed. I guess with that, we can try and boost our tranquil. I don't know if we have tranquil. I haven't seen it yet. So let me go ahead and grab a toy. Let's boost our tranquil scarlet. Just see if that helps at all. Okay, failed. All right, well, that's fine. So yeah, it looks like we still need to get Tranquil. We still need to get Corrupt, but all of our other pets are done, which is fantastic. And since we got pretty much all of our other pets done, we have 4 slots here. This is a good time to spawn in our Mega Spinosauruses and our regular Spinosauruses to start moving over all of the mutations to our Maple Resin, and then we should be good to go. And I guess we can also go ahead and spawn in our Ascended Mooncat to try and get Dawnbound done once we have Tranquil or Corrupt done. Or actually, you know, because these guys take a while and their cooldowns are bugged anyways, I guess I might as well remove the Queen Bee and then spawn in this guy so we can start getting Dawnbound done. Now, I know people might be like, oh, you can use the Queen Bee to get the Dawnbound mutation from your mutated Mooncat. Well, actually, you can't. I've already tested it, and the Queen Bee does not cool down the Dawnbound mutation, which is unfortunate, but this will at least add it in, and then we can try and get it within 6 hours, which will be like almost midnight, but, you know, we'll go for it, I guess. Oh, actually, before I go AFK, our space squirrel just added Void Touch to our Maple Resin. Oh, and it looks like we actually do have a Tranquil in here. I didn't even realize this. It's right here. Okay, well, we're actually done then with Tranquil, and we're done with our Space Squirrel because we just got Void Touch. It's in these Maple Resins that are kind of like hidden in here, so I can't really see them. All right, so our main one doesn't have it, but it's favorited, so our Spinos will move it. But yeah, we have a Tranquil one there, and we also have a Void Touch one now somewhere in there. So we're good. Those are actually done. Those are 2 more mutations done and out of the way. So I guess with that then, we will go ahead and spawn back in a Mimic Octopus to help with the Spinos, and we will also spawn in a Queen Bee again to help with getting those cooldowns done. And that should be good. Now we're actually perfectly ready for our AFK grind. So let's do this. We just got to get Corrupt and Dawnbound while we AFK. All right, so it's been like 5 or 6 hours since I went AFK, and here is our Maple Resin after we had all of the mutations moved over and applied to it now. And so if we actually take a look here, we have a total of 37 mutations. Now they did change the way that the Storm Charge mutation works. It used to be Maelstrom mixed with Static and Shocked, but now it's only Static and Shocked mixed with Tempestuous, I believe. And since we have Tempestuous under that, we can't get Tempestuous again on this Windstruck to actually give us the Maelstrom mutation and have both of them anymore. Used to be able to get both. I don't know why they changed it. Maybe there's a different combo to do that. And then also we did not get Ceramic. We were unable to because we got Infernal done first, but that is fine. We did get Dawnbound added on here though, and everything else that we needed. So again, 37 mutations, and if we split the Spaghetti mutation, that is 39 mutations. If we split the Abyssal mutation, which we finally got this one, that bring us to 40 mutations. Harmonized Chakra 41, Gloom 42, Paradisal 43, Storm Charged would be 45. And we didn't get Maelstrom, but if we had Maelstrom, it'd be 46 technically, but we're at 45. So with Infernal, we're about at 48 mutations. So almost 50 mutations. This thing is going to be worth a lot of money, I believe. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and check the value of it one time with the magnifying glass, and then we'll see if we can get Amber on it, and then check the value of it again. So let's go ahead and use our magnifying glass in 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, so here's our Maple Resin. We're at 2.9 trillion for this thing. Now, honestly, we could have had some other plants in the past more expensive than this. I think the last video had like a 1 trillion something plant. A couple videos ago, we had a 1 trillion, but a while back, we had one that was 1 trillion. It said it was maxed at 1 trillion. However, Steven won't give you the full value once it's 1 trillion, is what you guys told me in the comments. So I don't know if that one fruit a couple weeks back was more than 1 trillion and maybe closer to this value, but this is 2.9 trillion, which is a lot of money for this Maple Resin. Now, we're going to try and add one more mutation onto it to see if we can maybe get it into that 3 trillion mark. So what we're going to go ahead and do is spawn in some raptors here, and we're going to test our luck with picking it up to see if we get amber added onto it. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. All right, so we did not get amber added onto this thing, but our maple resin here is in the 2.9 trillion mark, and it is a lot of money. And as you can actually see over here, my little pile of carrots, I did get a bunch of carrots with Dawnbound, and I have them favorited, but we can go ahead and use these for our Spinos later to move Dawnbound and Moonlit, and also Glimmering over to our potato, so we can get that extra multiplier bonus from that, which would be pretty nice. So without further ado though, let's go ahead and get started with this. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and plant the potato down right here. All right, we actually need an apple gazelle first, because what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna plant down 6 sugar apple trees, and with that I'm gonna go ahead and use my main account to hit grow all, so we can grow our potato plant and then also grow our sugar apples. All right, and then real quick, we're gonna go ahead and carefully pick up these sugar apples to see if we can get the, I think I just accidentally picked up one of my carrots over there, but anyways, we're gonna do this to try and get the warp mutation done with our apple gazelle. Wow, usually we have it by now, dude. What's going on? What's going on, apple gazelle? What are you doing, buddy? Okay, well, let me try that again, and maybe to make this a little bit better, I'm gonna boost the gazelle. There we go. Oh, okay, there we go. We got warped on a sugar apple. Hopefully I didn't just pick it up. Okay, no, it's right here. We're good. All right, so I'm going to travel this over here, and I'm also going to travel one of these carrots over here that has Glimmering, Moonlit, and Dawnbound, and we're going to start with our little platter buffet for our Spinos for later. All right, and then with that, we can actually pick up these potatoes, because these are not going to be our potatoes that we want. Let's pick up that apple gazelle, and then let's go ahead and reclaim all the sugar apples just to make it a little bit easier, because I would keep them, but with the event currently going on, there's so many Glimmering mutations, and it just takes forever for the Spinos to move mutations over. But anyways, now we can go ahead and spawn in our moon cats here. All right, that's 7. I'm gonna also spawn in a triceratops to help with growing these potatoes. We're gonna get a sprinkler in here. We're gonna go ahead and put down our grandmaster sprinkler right there. Let's go ahead and put down our master sprinkler. Where's godly? There it is. Advanced, of course, and then we're going to do basic, and there we go. Now our potatoes should hopefully grow in big and strong and mighty. So we're gonna wait for this to grow. Our triceratops should hit that. I'm also gonna sell all these dance party going on my main account's plot. I'm gonna go ahead and sell all these sugar apples to get them out of the way, clear some inventory space, and there we go. We got some moon cats sleeping, so let's go ahead and throw this in the pile. Actually, maybe over here. There's a lot of moon cats pretty close together, actually. I don't know, maybe right here would be a good spot. It's kind of a good spot everywhere right now. There's a lot of moon cats sleeping. Maybe I'll keep it right here. There's about almost like 3 stacked on that with the sprinklers. That should be good. Hopefully that'll give us a really big and nice potato. All right, this big guy here is actually growing pretty big. So that's not even the potato. I think that's just the stem. So we'll have to see what grows on this side. But let's do that once our triceratops smacks it. All right, you're gonna hit it. Okay, that was a 33-minute advancement, but like literally nothing happened. That's pretty crazy. And the other one's not even growing in yet. Oh wait, here it is. It's right here. I guess I'll hit grow all and see what we get, because I think we might have some pretty big potatoes. Let's see. Okay, not too shabby. This is actually a pretty good size here. I don't really know how big the potatoes can get, but this one does look pretty good. So I think we'll keep this one. Maybe we'll try to get one more and just see what kind of size we can get for the one over here. So I feel like we can do a little bit better than that. Let's try it one more time. We'll keep this one though and just give it a look, give it a test here. Let's just see if we can get a bigger one than that. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, okay, this one's actually a lot bigger than that one. I'm glad we waited a little bit longer. Okay, well, now we have our actual potato that we're going to use. Look at that thing, dude. It's sticking out of my plot. That's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all of these pets here. Let's go ahead and get started with getting this thing rainbow. So I'm gonna spawn in a butterfly. We're gonna spawn in a queen bee, and then the queen bee will cool down the butterfly, and it'll convert the 5 mutations we're about to put on the potato into rainbow. And we're also gonna spawn in our golden goose to get the fortune egg out of the way, so we can get that egg laid. We can place it over here on our little entree platter for the Spinos, and then we can get the fortune mutation moved over shortly. But with that, let's go ahead and get this potato ready for golden conversion here. So I'm gonna put pollinated on it, windstruck. We'll use a wet, we'll do chocolate, and then we will use a honey sprinkler here to turn this to honey glazed. So silver doesn't count towards rainbows, but we do have our other 5 mutations: chocolate, windstruck, wet, honey glazed, and pollinated. These will convert to rainbow with our butterfly, and then we can get the show on the road and get some good mutations on this. And with that, my main account should have the kitsune actually come over here in the next minute, so we're gonna wait for that real quick. And actually, I kind of hope it takes a carrot because we don't want it to steal the potato just yet. We need to save that chakra mutation. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do, just in case, so we don't have it steal our potato and add chakra to this one, is I'm gonna move it over here for a second, face it way out of the plot there, so that way the Kitsune will hopefully only target one of my carrots here. All right, so my main account's Kitsune is headed over, and he is directly aiming towards what looks to be a carrot, but the potato is also over here, so let's see. Okay, he applied it to a carrot. Perfect. Thank you. I guess this one does have luminous on it. I don't remember putting luminous on this, but I guess maybe it got multiplied from one of my T-Rexes when I was trying to get Dawnbound multiplied. So we do have luminous on this, and we have chilled, chakra, Dawnbound, and glimmering. So I'm actually going to go ahead and travel this carrot over here, and this will be in favor of the Spino Platter instead of this one. Now, this one does have moonlit on it, though, so I guess we can use that for that. But I don't want to get rid of 2 Dawnbounds, but I guess it doesn't really matter because I'll use T-Rexes again to duplicate all the Dawnbounds and have more carrots later. So I guess we'll go ahead and unfavorite that then, and our Spinos can eat that. But yeah, we do have chakra now, and we have all these mutations, so that is good to go there. I'm gonna go ahead and AFK now, and we'll be back once our potato turns rainbow, and we'll get some mutations started on it. Oh, actually, before we AFK for a couple minutes to get this rainbow, I'm actually gonna do one more thing. I'm actually gonna favorite this potato for a second, and I'm gonna spawn in an advanced sprinkler, and then I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my mandrakes. I have 4 of them here, and we are going to just plant some mandrake seeds down and use some watering cans to get rot mutation done. Hopefully pretty quick. I think these guys are all boosted still. No, they're not. Let me get some toys real quick just to make this go a little bit faster and hopefully save a couple mandrake seeds. All right, let's see if we get rot done. All right, there we go. We have rot applied to a potato. Is it actually this potato, though? No, it's not. All right, that's actually a good thing. We don't want it on this potato because all of this is about to convert over to... Sorry, brain fart, bro. This is about to convert over to rainbow, so I'm glad we actually did not get rot on this potato itself. We have it on one of these potatoes in the mix, so that's a good thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up the rest of these then, and we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite that, and let's wait now for that to convert to rainbow, but we have the rot mutation out of the way. We're good to go. I'm gonna pick up these mandrakes while we're here, and now we're just gonna wait for this goose, which I'm gonna boost him so we can get that egg done, pick him up, and then our queen bee can just focus on our butterfly. All right, so our golden goose is going to lay its egg now, so we can get the fortune egg, and then that will be transferred over to our potato later with a Spino. But there we go. We got our egg. So fortune egg has been laid. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this golden goose now. That is good. We're going to go ahead and travel this thing over to our little platter for our Spinos, of course. And I think next, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get our Raiju started. That way we can get the static mutation ready. And by the time the Raiju is finished with its ability, then when we start doing all the other mutations, we won't risk that carrot that we're about to put down right here getting any other mutations on it, because we're actually going to put shocked on this carrot. There we go. I added it from my main account, and that way the Raiju will eat this carrot and apply static to our potatoes, probably our sugar apples, maybe our carrots, and we'll have the static mutation done. And that way other pets don't apply stuff to this carrot, so we don't have to wait to get it again if they accidentally do. All right, so now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and boost my queen bee to get that butterfly's cooldown done. I'm going to also boost that Raiju to save a little bit. Actually, the Raiju is boosted, so we'll boost him again a little bit to save some time on that, and we should be good. And then yeah, all these carrots I have over here are still favorited, so when we do get our Spinos in, they will not eat any of these. And we also do have a sandy carrot here, so maybe to save some time with the jackalopes, I will maybe move that over. Actually, it doesn't really matter too much if we use some of these, because I will just use a T-Rex later to duplicate the Dawnbound mutation more for us. So I guess with that, I will just go ahead and move this sandy carrot over here. I guess what we can do, this one has sandy, moonlit, and Dawnbound. I can move this one over here, so I'll refavorite that one, and then I'll unfavorite this one. That way we can get moonlit from this one and sandy, and then that way we can get luminous and chakra, and both of them will give us Dawnbound, so that's good. All right, I'm sure I gave some of you a heart attack because I did not favorite these carrots here for a second, and these ones have 5 mutations, so the butterfly could easily convert these to rainbow, but I did go ahead and favorite them, so now it can only target this potato since everything else is favorited that has multiple mutations. But yeah, I guess I gave myself a heart attack too for a second because I almost didn't realize that. But there we go. Queen bee cooled down the butterfly. Butterfly converted our potato to rainbow, and we are now good. We can go ahead and pick up the butterfly. We can pick up our queen bee. We can go ahead and boost this Raiju to get static done, and then let's go ahead and unfavorite these now that these are good to go, and we have our rainbow potato. So with that, we can go ahead and reapply our sprays. So I'm going to go ahead, and I don't really need to use my glimmering spray yet. I'm going to save that for once the event ends because we have glimmering all over the place, excuse me. So I'm going to put pollinated onto this. We're going to save windstruck because we have tempestuous we're going to add, pollinated, we'll put chocolate, and then we are going to put a honey honey sprinkler back down to get honey glaze back. So my main account here, I'm going to add the cloud touch spray. So wet's added, we'll add shock back onto it, and then we'll put verdant onto it. All of our mutations are on here now, and then we're going to get everything else moved over. So we have rainbow shocked, chocolate verdant, wet, honey glazed, cloud touch, and pollinated so far, which brings us to 8 mutations on the potato, and we're going to get a lot more in just a little bit. Anyways, our Raiju is going to be the first pet for our guaranteed mutations to eat this and apply static, so we're going to let him do that in a second here. So I'm going to spawn in a lemon lion for the brain rot mutation. I'm going to spawn in a peach wasp for the plasma mutation. We'll spawn in our pterodactyl for, okay, well that didn't come up with pterodactyl, but we'll spawn in our corrupt kitsune as well for corrupt chakra. We'll spawn in our pterodactyl here for our tempestuous mutation, and we'll spawn in our cockatrice as well for that toxic mutation. And I would spawn in the jackalopes as well, but we did already get Sandy, so we don't need the jackalopes today. I think with those last 2 slots, we'll go ahead and get started with our disco bee so we can get the disco mutation done. And real quick, let me just take a look to make sure I'm not missing anything, because there's so many different pets. I tend to forget now if I'm missing anything. So let me just make sure I have all the guaranteed mutation pets out on the battlefield right now to give us those mutations. Oh, I almost forgot the Phoenix, dude. See, there's so many now. I forget. All right, so I'll pick up a disco bee for now and put the Phoenix down because we got to get that flaming mutation from our Phoenix. And I believe that is all of the guaranteed mutation pets out now. And then after these guys, yeah, we'll focus on disco bees, chicken zombies, and then our AFK set of pets. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do here, so we're going to let our pets do their things and finish their cooldowns, with our Raiju actually being the first one here who's going to eat this carrot here that is shocked and going to apply that static mutation. All right, eat that. Give me that static mutation. All right, we got some static on carrots. We got static on a sugar apple. Some more carrots. All right, so we're good. Where did static go on the sugar apple? I'm not seeing that one. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in that disco bee back then, and we'll focus on disco and zombified once we get all these guaranteed mutations. Hopefully these disco bees will come in clutch though, so we can just focus on zombified. All right, the lemon lion just applied the brain rot mutation to a carrot. I hardly just missed it. I wasn't paying attention for a second there. I was on my phone, bro. Can't be texting and mutating, I guess. But here we go. Carrot, this carrot specifically has the brain rot mutation, so we will go ahead and move this one over. Again, I'm not too worried about the dawnbound mutation being on all these. I got extra carrots for that reason, so we can easily duplicate more dawnbound carrots for the next videos. But yeah, there we go. So this carrot has brain rot on it. We'll unfavorite that and add that to our collection. So thank you, Mr. Lemon Lion, for your service. I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up now, buddy. I'm gonna spawn in another disco bee so we can hopefully get disco done and then focus just on zombified after these guys are done. So let's see what happens there. I'm also gonna go ahead and boost this pterodactyl so we can get tempestuous done. So let's go ahead and wait just a second here. Let's get that flaming mutation done and out of the way. All right, let's see. Oh, he's flying. He's flying. He's going. He's going. All right, we got it on 4 fruits. Did we actually get it on the potato directly? No, we didn't get it on this. Did we get it on... Okay, we got some on these carrots. That's all we need to know. All right, cool. So flaming is done, and it's on some of these carrots over here. So that is perfect. That works for us. We can go ahead and pick up our Phoenix now. And who's next? Cockatrice is next, and Pterodactyl's next. So let's go ahead and wait for them. Cockatrice will give us Toxic. Pterodactyl should hopefully give us Tempestuous, and then we can swap those guys out as well. We do have 3 Disco Bees, so I'm going to go ahead and place another Disco Bee, and we're just going to get max Disco Bees to get that mutation done, and then we'll go for chicken zombies. All right, we got Toxic spread to some carrots and to potatoes, so our cockatrice is done. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up. Let's see, did we get it on our main potato? No, we got it on this one over here. Okay, and our pterodactyl is next to give us tempestuous. Now, I guess the one thing I didn't think of is when the Spinos eat, they will not eat from the favorited fruits here, but they can eat from these unfavorited ones and spread it to these favorited fruits. So that might be a bit of a problem, because we wanted to get on the tomato, we wanted to get it on the potato. So we'll have to think about that, and I might need to actually pick up these carrots and maybe just save 1 dawnbound carrot or AFK dawnbound before the next video again, because I didn't think that one over, did I? But anyways, our pterodactyl is done here. Tempestuous is done, and that is another 2 pet slots open. So our disco bees are almost done with their cooldowns, at least a couple of them. So I want to try to get disco done first, but the chicken zombies do take a while for their cooldown, so I might as well start getting some chicken zombies in here, and I'll go 4 and 4. Once we get Peach Wasp done and Crep Kitsune, I can spawn in 4 chicken zombies, and I'll have 4 disco bees. But hopefully we'll get lucky, and these disco bees will be quick and give us the disco mutation pretty quick. Zephy's almost done, so I'm gonna actually boost him, and there he is. So let's see if he will give us the disco mutation, because maybe if we could get him to do it first and he just gets it done and out of the way, then we can just focus on chicken zombies and our life will be easier. That doesn't always happen. We usually have a tough life. Our pets don't really like us. That's a problem. All right, Zephy, come on, buddy. All right, he failed. Just like I said, you know, I didn't think you'd like us, but it was worth a shot. All right, so let's see if our Corrupt Kitsune gives us Foxfire Corrupt Chakra, maybe? Maybe, that'd be nice, right? Right, buddy? Right? Okay, we only got Corrupt Chakra on 1 golden egg, so we're gonna go ahead and take him away for now, and then maybe we can try and AFK him later to get Foxfire Corrupt Chakra, but as long as we have the regular Corrupt Chakra, that works for now. Disco Beast going off, and we got Disco done and applied to one of our sugar apples, which is actually perfect for us. That means we are good with our Disco Bees as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this Corrupt Kitsune here. We're gonna pick up our Disco Bees, and now we're gonna go ahead and just spawn in some more chicken zombies and max these guys out so we can prepare to hopefully get the zombified mutation and get ready for our AFK grind here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chicken zombies. I thought we had more, but just to help out, I guess I can put in a mimic octopus as well and a queen bee just to make sure we get zombified done faster. And then our peach wasp here is about to be done with its cooldown in about 2 minutes to give us the plasma mutation. And once we have plasma done, then we should be good with all of our guaranteed pets. He's gonna sting one of our chicken zombies though for now, I believe. Yep. All right, but yeah, these guys still have a very long time for the cooldowns. We still have 13 minutes in total, so we'll have to wait a little bit. But the queen bee will help with that. Mimic octopus will help as well, and hopefully we get zombified done on one of these first tries, and then we can prepare for our AFK setup. All right, our peach wasp is going to apply plasma. Looks like it's going to a sugar apple. Yep, there we go. So plasma has been applied to a sugar apple. We're good with our peach wasp, and now we just have to wait for these chicken zombies to give us zombified, and then we can do our AFK setup. Now, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is spawn in a gnome, since we do have quite a few gnomes here. I can boost the gnome, and that will boost its basic ability, and since we have all these gnomes, I'll boost that % chance. So we should be able to get gnome pretty quick. That way, when we actually go AFK, I can spawn in a kappa, and we can fill up our 8 pet slots, but otherwise, we'll just let him be one of our AFK pets as we normally do, and then we'll swap him out with a Kappa later for Bloodlit. But besides that, yeah, once we get zombified, we should be good to go for our AFK setup, and then eventually we'll throw in some Spinos and get everything moved to our potato. So we just had our Mimic Octopus apply the zombified mutation to one of our sugar apples over here, right here, the same one with Disco on it. So zombified is done. However, I do have some bad news. I have some real bad news, actually. I did something bad. So I was trying to boost one of my pets, and I accidentally picked up the potato right here that had tempestuous and rot on it, dude. I need those. So I'm gonna go ahead and real quick spawn in my mandrakes again. I'm gonna favorite this potato. Oh, wait, that one's already favored. I'm gonna favorite this potato just so I don't pick anything up on that. We're gonna get brought back. This one's pretty easy, and then we're gonna I mean, tempestuous is pretty easy as well, but we do have to wait a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my pterodactyl again and get tempestuous back, and then we can actually do our AFK grind. But I am gonna have to wait about 8 minutes for this guy to give us tempestuous again. However, at least it wasn't like pets that take forever. It was only rot, it was only tempestuous, everything else we had and everything else, so we're good with that. All right, come on, give me that rot mutation back. I messed up big time. Just forgive me and give me it back, please. Oh, thank you. All right, we got raw on a sugar apple now, so that's done again. That was annoying. Now we just gotta wait for our pterodactyl to give us tempestuous again, and then we can really do our ultimate AFK setup. I guess right now while I'm here, I'm gonna boost this gnome real quick and maybe help us get that beautiful mutation, the gnome mutation, maybe. Okay, or I won't get it. That's fine. But anyways, yeah, so we're gonna wait for a pterodactyl. I guess I'll go ahead and get the AFK setup going, though. I will swap this guy out, though, once we get tempestuous back, but I'm gonna go ahead and put down my tranquil scarlet for the tranquil mutation, corrupt scarlet for the corrupt mutation. We'll put down our lobster for molten and meteoric, which we can get infernal and blazing from. I'm gonna go ahead and put down my spriggan for the blue mutation. We already have my gnome down for the gnomed mutation, and let's see what else, because we have a couple more that I know I'm missing. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna get the griffin down for the cyclonic mutation, and I will get my spaghetti sloth down for the spaghetti mutation, which is the meatball, sauce, and pasta mutation mixed all together, and the aromatic mutation because I have that shard on him. And then I think we're missing one more pet. I know I am somewhere. I know we're gonna do kappas eventually, so I will put my kappas in my hotbar just to remind myself. But what other pet are we missing? Because I know that there's one that I always do with this combo. Let me just double check here real quick. Bro, my brain is broken right now. I know there's someone in here I'm missing. They'll come back to me, I'm sure. I'm looking right at it and I can't think of it. So I'll spawn it in a second, though, whenever I get tempestuous back, and I'll let you know what it is once I figure it out, because my brain hurts right now. So I don't know how this makes sense, but there's a heat wave while there's a frost snow event. This is completely ruining my immersion right now. This is not possible. Anyways, I remembered what pet I was missing. It's the junk bot. So this guy will go into my AFK collection. It's the second one pterodactyl is done. I do have some tanning mirrors. I just wanted to make sure I'm going to get sun dried. I think I should be good. They're in range. And I guess I do have a star crawler as well. well. I'll put one over here though, just in case, to hit some of that stuff. If we do, for some reason, get a celestial event, I don't know if we will, but that'd be very, very nice. All right, so hopefully my pterodactyl reapplies tempestuous first try, since I messed up and I'm dumb and stupid and idiot. All right, tempestuous, please. Back to something. Bro, why are you not giving me tempestuous? Why are you not giving me tempestuous? He's upset at me because I took it away earlier. I did not mean to, man. It was an honest mistake. All right, well, anyways, once we get tempestuous, we'll get Junkbot in there and AFK, but I'm very sad now. All right, so we have Twisted, or I guess Tempestuous, back on some sugar apples and some of our carrots here. So we should be good. Let me just double check, make sure it actually did get on one of these sugar apples. There it is. All right, cool. So we have Tempestuous on a sugar apple. I did place these carrots down just in case, but since they're good to go and we have it on a sugar apple, I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up and we are good. So we can finally swap out our pterodactyl, put down our Junkbot, and now we have our official AFK setup. Now, real quick, I'm gonna see if our gnome actually ends up giving us gnome, because if he does, we can go ahead and put down our Kappa and then we can really just AFK for a bit. But if not, we're gonna have to do some more waiting and come back in just a little bit. And I guess in the meantime, I can also boost my Spriggan. Excuse me. So I'll do that to see if we get Bloom done, and that should help a little bit as well. All right, gnome, come on, gnome. It failed. All right, well, it was worth a shot. Real quick, let's just see if we do get Bloom from our Spriggan. All right, Spriggan, don't let us down. Get us Bloom so we can swap you out for a Kappa. I don't want to get rid of you. I love you, but like, that'd be nice. Oh, you're going kind of far away. Hey, buddy. Buddy, come back over here, please. Get a little bit closer, please. All right, come on, Bloom. Yeah, I think he was out of range. All right, well, that breaks my heart. Thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing, dude. You know what? I'm out of here. Bruh, chill. All right, our Scarlet Macaw applied Tranquil to our potato, and I think it was actually it was our actual potato that we needed it on. So, all right, we got our Scarlet done, our first one, our Tranquil one done. Let's see if we get Corrupt. I did boost him to try and get Corrupt, so hopefully we can get that done. Let's see it. All right, failed. Well, at least we got Tranquil done. That will be useful. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and actually place down some more carrots here. Let's do a couple here. And I guess we'll do a couple over here. And that should be good. I guess I'll do a couple in this corner as well. And then we're going to spawn in a Kappa to hopefully give us Bloodlet while we AFK. But I'm glad that Tranquil is done. All right, so while I was AFK, it looks like we had a lot of good stuff happen. So first off, as you can see, this other big potato that I have got Cyclonic on it. And it also got Bloom on it. So those are 2 more mutations done. And we could check off of our list. Oh, and he's going off again. All right, but we got those 2 done. We also got Corrupt done, which is another mutation out of the way from our from our Corrupt Scarlet Macaw. So I'm gonna go ahead and travel this one over to the platter over here. Perfect. We don't really need Frozen. I think, do we already have Frozen? We have it on this one. So yeah, we don't really need the Frozen carrots. I'll pick that up. We did get Meatball on this carrot, and I think we got it over there, but I will just move this over here just in case, because we got another Bloom on it anyways, so we'll do that. We got Pasta on this carrot. Then on this carrot over here, we got Oil, so we can get rid of our Junkbot a second. Oil is done, so we'll go ahead and travel this over here. We also got Molten, so Molten's done, but we still need Meteoric, but we'll go ahead and move the Molten carrot over here as well. All right, Aromatic did just fail, but this carrot over here, we have we have Sauce and Pasta on it. I don't know, I can't speak, but that's Sauce done as well. So that's pretty much all the spaghetti mutations done. We just need to make sure we have Aromatic somewhere, but let's see, none on that. All right, so let's see if we got Bloodlet anywhere over here. Yeah, so I'm not seeing Bloodlet. We might have not gotten that while we're AFK. Doesn't look like it, so we'll have to wait around for Bloodlet a little bit longer, but we did get quite a bit done here, so that was some good progress. We are good with the Junkbot. We are good with the Cyclonic, or the Griffin here that gives us Cyclonic. We're good with the Spriggan. We did get Bloom, and we are also good with the Corrupt Scarlet here. So we still need to get Gnomed. I'm gonna go ahead and boost him to see if we can get that done out of the way. Let's see. Let's test our luck, I guess. Failed. Okay. But yeah, we still need Gnomed. We still need Meteoric. We still need Aromatic from our Spaghetti Sloth. And then we still need to get Bloodlet. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another Kappa to help us get Bloodlet done with a couple of extra carrots. But okay, there we go. Now we have 2 Kappas to help us get Bloodlet. We'll hopefully get Aromatic. And then with those extra slots that we have left, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 of my Mega Spinosauruses here. And I'm going to spawn in another regular Spinosaurus. And that way we can start getting all of these mutations moved over to our favorited potato right here. All right. So our potato is ready with all of these mutations on it. It is looking pretty good. We have a total of 31 mutations, and then if we separate some of these like spaghetti, we would have 33 mutations. With ceramic, we'd be up to about I think about 35. Harmonized chakra would bring us to 36. Maelstrom would bring us to, I want to say, 38. Gloom 39. Paradisal 40. Storm charge would be about 44, and Infernal would bring us to about 47, 48. So we do have a lot of mutations on this thing. I wish we could have got like Celestial and Aurora, that would have made this even more. But we do have Dawnbound on it, which is a really good multiplier to have. So I'm happy about that. And this thing just looks insane, of course, because there's so many mutations on it. We're going to try to add that 49th mutation on this with getting our raptor spawned in and trying to get amber. So let's see if we can get that done. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pick up our potato now. Or actually, you know what, instead of checking with Steven, everyone always asks me to do the magnifying glass, so I'm gonna check it with the magnifying glass first just to see what the value would be if it's over 1 trillion, and then we'll pick it up and see if we get amber. So let's go ahead and use a magnifying glass today first. So let's go ahead and click our potato here. Okay, so this thing is currently worth 1.5 trillion, which is actually an insane amount for this thing being a potato, which is the base value is around like 80k or something like that, or like 60k. So 1.5 trillion is very good. Let's see if we can actually get amber on it though. All right, we did not get amber on it, but we do have this potato with all these mutations worth 1.5 trillion, which is a very, very good amount of money. I think the Dawnbound mutation really helps getting that added on here today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and spawn in some mooncats here. So we got 8 mooncats that we can spawn in, so we can start getting progress on getting a big, beautiful maple apple tree. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and place all of our sprinklers down here. So we're gonna get a master, godly, advanced, and basic, and then we're gonna put our maple apple right in there. And look at that, it's all rainbowy up here, so it looks like we might have a pretty big tree. To save some time, we're gonna go ahead and hit that grow all button on my main account. And oh, look at this, we got a sandstorm, so we might as well hurry up and do this. All right, we're in, and there we go. We have some maple apples. Now, these don't look very big. This one looks decent, but some of these don't look as big as I thought we might be able to get this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up these, and I guess we'll give it a look and see how they regrow. But I'm going to go ahead and put some more sprinklers down, and we're going to try to get this thing to grow a little bit better. We want these mooncats to hopefully affect this as much as possible. We want to get a big maple apple. Now, we do have a pretty decent sized one here, but I think we could do better than that. I think we could definitely get a bigger one to show up. All right, we have a lot of mooncats right here. I think what I'll do is I'll trowel this into the sleeping mooncats if they all pile in a certain area. Let me move that into that circle. All right, yeah, they're kind of all piling around in different spots. They're not like just in one area. Okay, let me try right here in between these two, or actually maybe even right here because there's a few of them right here. All right, and hopefully that helps. All right, I'm gonna hit the grow all button again just to see if anything changes, see if we get any big ones. So let's just YOLO it. Let's see what we get. Okay, that's better. That's definitely better. That's this one is pretty big. All right, so we can go ahead and pick up these other ones then. Yeah, look at this. We thought this was gonna be decent. I think this one's a lot better. Dude, what is going on? We're getting all these events, but we're not ready yet. We still got to get this thing rainbow. All right, we're gonna pick up all of our mooncats. We're gonna try and go through this quick. So let's go ahead and get our sprays done. Actually, let's go ahead and get that queen bee ready to get the cooldowns ready. Let's get the butterfly ready to get that cooldown ready, and then let's get these sprays done on our maple apple. So we're gonna go ahead and put pollinated on this. We're gonna put chocolate on that. We're gonna put a cloud touched, shocked, and then we will do honey glazed with the honey sprinkler. And there we go. That will be our 5 mutations. All right, so I was stupid and accidentally picked up my queen bee, so I've been sitting here waiting for my butterfly. But to speed this up, I guess, a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and give my butterfly this toy, which will speed up the cooldown, and now our butterfly will give us rainbow. So it's like the same thing, but yeah, you won't notice any difference here, but yeah, I had to wait a little bit longer because I'm stupid and dumb. All right, so just like that, our maple apple is now rainbow. So we can go ahead and pick up that butterfly. We're good. We have this mutation done. All right, so now we can go ahead and apply our sprays to this thing again. So we're gonna put our chocolate back on it, pollinated, shocked, cloud touch. We're gonna go ahead and put our honey sprinkler back down to get honey glaze back onto it. And then on our main account, we're going to apply amber onto it. I did that from over there. I got snipes, I guess. But now amber's back onto it. Now, my main account has some chilled sprays we're going to use, but we're going to wait on that because we're going to try to get this thing to get ceramic first. So to do that, we need wet and then sandy to get clay, and then we'll need to get sun-dried to turn that into ceramic. So we're going to wait a little bit, and we're going to not apply the chill just yet. We're going to do frozen after we get ceramic. So now we're going to start focusing on the rest and applying some more with our pets. So I have some disco beasts here. Now I know people are going to be like, Bandites, you can just use the new disco spray. Well, there's no spray merchant and I don't have the disco spray. Okay, so I'm going to be using disco beasts to hopefully get us disco mutation on our maple apple. And then I'm going to be using the cooked owls Same thing here to hopefully get burnt or cooked, since I don't have those sprays as well. We're gonna go ahead and use some chicken zombies, and then we're going to spawn in 1 scarlet. Actually, we're gonna hold off on the scarlet for now and not get verdant on this just yet, because we're gonna try to get ceramic first, and if we have verdant, that sun-dried will just convert to paradisal. So we're gonna wait on this guy, but we are gonna spawn in 2 sea turtles so we can get this maple apple, the wet mutation. And after we get the wet mutation, that should help us get this turned to clay, and then yeah, we could go through that getting ceramic. Our luck today is a little bit better than it's been the last few videos. We have another aurora happening, so hopefully we can get the aurora mutation on our maple apple. Oh, look at that. Just like that, the sea turtle already applied wet to our maple apple, so that's quick and easy. We can go ahead and pick up these guys then, and I guess we'll spawn in another disco bee and another, I guess we'll do another chicken zombie for the time being. Oh, I just saw something happen. Did we get it? Oh, let's go. We got aurora. All right, this is actually going a lot better today than it has been. I think the update of increasing the events really helped. So we are up to 9 mutations on our maple apple, including aurora, which is awesome. We're going to wait for these pet mutations to hopefully take effect. We got our disco bees and our cooked owls that will be applying some mutations soon. All right, our disco bees always seem to be the first pet to apply their mutations, but anyways, let me go ahead and unfavorite this real quick. But as you can see, we now have the disco mutation on our maple apple. So it's starting to look pretty good. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is pick up these disco bees carefully without picking anything else up, as I've done in the past, as we all know now. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another cooked owl or 2. Let's see. I guess I'll do another cooked owl. And I will spawn in another chicken zombie. So hopefully we can get these 2 mutations done. And then we just really got to get verdant after that, but we're going to wait for verdant just for a little bit. We want to wait until we get this thing, hopefully ceramic first, and then we'll focus on paradisal. All right, so we have some of our cooked owls here that are about to finish their cooldowns, which is good. And with that, we also have a Zen event about to start. Oh, well, they're targeting the big one, but they're failing. What about the other one? Targeted the big one, but fail. Okay, that's very sad. Our chicken zombies are almost cooled down as well. At least 2 of them are almost done. And then we have another one that'll be done in a few minutes. And we're gonna see the Zen Aura event happen in a second, which will help us get Tranquil on our maple apple here, which will be another mutation added on. All right, so we got our first little Tranquil beam coming over here. Let's see which one it hits first. All right, there we go. Our big one is mutated to Tranquil, so that's a really easy one to get, and that's just some extra multiplier for us to work with. Oh, let's go. Thank you, cooked owls. You guys, I love you so much. You're so nice to me today. All right, well, there we go. Now we have burnt on our big maple apple here, so we're stacking up some good mutations. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these cooked owls now then. Get these guys out of the way. We have another chicken zombie almost ready, so hopefully he does what the cooked owls did in target. I'm gonna spawn in another chicken zombie, and we'll spawn in a mimic octopus to mimic those guys to give us even more opportunities. All right, we have a windy event, which I was hoping for, and I'm gonna go ahead and trowel our plant, I guess, over here, because for some reason these corners over here always help get wind struck on our plants faster. Okay, the event ended. Let's see if we got any windstruck added. Oh, we did. Dude, I don't know why this corner is blessed right here. If you need windstruck, move your plants like right here. It seems to always work to get us windstruck. All right. I forgot that they re-added frost into the game, which if we get chilled, which because our plant is already wet, we might get it frozen, which we don't want right now, which is going to be very unfortunate. We have wet, and I probably should have waited. I completely forgot that they re-added frost. The only reason I added wet was in case a sandstorm came by, we could have gotten sandy, which would have made this turn instantly to clay. But I didn't count the fact that if a frost storm comes by, we can get frozen. We don't want frozen yet, because once we get frozen, we pretty much, I don't think, can get ceramic. Actually, you know what? We probably can. I think if we get sandy, we could apply wet again. So this actually isn't the end of the world. It would just get us frozen earlier, which we didn't really want yet. All right, well, yeah, we now have frozen on our maple apple. Honestly, that is fine. We'll just keep frozen on there. Either way, we can still get ceramic, I believe. We just have to wait for a sandstorm now, and once this is sandy, we can add wet to it to get clay. Okay, it looks like one of our chicken zombies just applied zombified to our maple apple. Yep, there it is. We are good, which means we pretty much have every pet mutation done. We still gotta wait for twisted, which is technically a pet mutation now, I guess. but that will get this thing to tempestuous. And then once we have that, we also need to get verdant, which is also a spray or a pet mutation. All right, so I have literally been in a Discord call with one of my friends for like 6 hours talking, waiting for more mutations to get applied. We did end up getting moonlit to this, but we had a sandstorm twice and did not get sandy. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just apply scarlet to this maple apple so we can get verdant on it. So I'm going to spawn in 3 scarlets and a mimic octopus just so we can make sure we get that verdant mutation, and that will turn sun-dried into paradisal. So there we go. We have all these pets set, and some of them actually have some of our buffs still added onto them. And while they focus on getting that sun-dried to turn into paradisal, over here on my main account, shout out to my friend Cole or Azook. He actually is letting me borrow his kitsune for this video so I can try to get chakra and foxfire chakra on my maple apple. And if I can get those two, that should be some extra good mutation buffs. So I have a queen bee spawned in my main account garden in there, and I'm going to go ahead and use that queen bee with the kitsune to see if I can get both foxfire and regular chakra on my plant. So apparently the kitsune actually applies it to your plant, and then it steals it and gives it to your other account. So I should be able to get 2 of these maple apples with all these mutations on it, and it should be pretty good overall. Okay, well, it looks like we're about to finally wrap things up here, and we finally got sandy applied to our maple apple after literally hours and multiple sandstorm events. So we technically could get this up to ceramic now, but I don't know if I really want to wait around for another heat wave event to happen, because I have been at this for like 8 hours today trying to get this one to be good for you guys. So I think we're just going to keep sandy. That way we have that mutation on there, and then if we can get foxfire chakra and regular chakra, that should make up for that ceramic mutation, and at least we still have sandy on it. All right, my main account's kitsune is coming over here to attack our maple apple. Okay, and it says kitsune applied chakra, so it looks like my main account is getting one of these, and let's just go ahead and check. Yeah, there we go. Now we have chakra on this. We did not get foxfire chakra, but we do have the regular chakra on this, and in total we do have 18 mutations on our maple apple. We could turn this sandy into ceramic. We could have turned this windstruck into tempestuous, and we could also get foxfire chakra and celestial. So there's a few things that we could have combined for better mutation chances, and it would have really helped us in the end to get a little bit more money value out of this. But overall, I think this is a pretty good maple apple, and I'm very happy with it with how many mutations we actually got today. Let's go ahead though and pick up our maple apple and check the value. All right, so here it is. Here's our big maple apple with all of these mutations on it. It looks insane with all the electricity and everything on it. I'm gonna go ahead and favorite it as well, just so I don't accidentally ever sell it. And we're gonna check with Steven. So Steven, what is the value of our maple apple with all 18 of these mutations on it? This maple apple is worth 197 billion, and I can only imagine that this would have been past 400 billion or so if we were actually got celestial, foxfire, chakra, and a couple of those other mutations mixed together. With those admin mutations, I think this would have been very, very good. But for that many mutations on it, that is still pretty good. I do wish our maple apple was a little bit bigger, but overall, I'm very happy with that price. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if you think that this is worth the value or if it should be worth more.